Hit it.
Attention, stupid American people. Great Chinese leader, Chairman Xi, speaks to running dog, warmonger Trump.
Good evening. Attention, running dog warmonger Trump. You think getting rid of our boy Swalwell will stop us from conquering you? Ha 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 ha. You fool. Fang Fang has deep hips. She loved you long time. We got all you Democrat girly men on camera doing the nasty. Listen, crazy man. We have much bath soup and pangolins. We make more virus. Give you running dogs runny noses for lifetime. We got Temu flooding your country with cheap cameras and exploding earbuds. You get out of Strait Hormuz or we make you horse moves. Get it? That funny joke, haha. We smuggle in virus that attack your corn and wheat, but you're too stupid to realize what's going on. You hate our balloons. We got all your intel from shitty brain Biden. We don't need no stinking balloons, so you are warned. The Chinese People's Army and Democrats are now in charge. Swalwell can go to hell. Shitty brain Biden and his druggy son Hunter sold you out long ago. Ha 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 ha. Thank you for your attention in this matter.
The chairman ain't playing. Don't blame me, Susie. I did not say that. Welcome back. This is an ongoing look at China and what China's doing. We just posted we did a short thing on what Swalwell was up to and what he did, and that is devastating. It's just devastating to listen. Whoa, I told you that not to, see, I didn't do it. I didn't do it right. I told you, dear. It's just devastating. I keep messing up here. Swalwell and what he did. But let's not forget what he also did. And that was spy for China. He did. We know it. I mean, it's just there. He knew what he was doing. He knew Fang Fang was a Chinese National Communist Party member, and he still went out of his way to mess around with her. And if you think they didn't get anything out of him, yeah, and the Intelligence Committee, I got a bridge to sell you in China. How about that? All right. I've been warning for a long time what the Chinese are doing. And it's so massive that I tried to put it in order to present it to you in some kind of order to follow. But there is no order. It's like that movie, Everything All at Once, all over the place. That's what China is doing. The most important thing, and this is a continuing thing that we've discovered, and it's been discovered for like a couple years now. This is not going away. This is something in Breitbart News again. Chinese student pleads guilty to smuggling biological material into the United States. What the hell? According to a detail in press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of Indiana. You think, Indiana? Why would they be in Indiana? Guess where a lot of food is grown. A Chinese national, Huang Jing, applied for U.S. non-immigrant student J-1 visa to perform postdoctoral research in the Department of Biology at Indiana University, Bloomington. He successfully received the visa, and his time began in June of 2023. However, last year the FBI began investigating the suspicious shipments from China. Holy cow, only last year, huh? Good going, guys. to individuals affiliated with Indiana University. According to the press release, agents determined that Zhang, who holds a PhD from the Chinese Academy of Sciences, received a suspicious package in March of 24. The package itself came from Guangzhou Sci-Tech Innovation Trading. Bizarrely, the package was labeled as containing underwear of man-made fibers, other women's. This sounds like a job for Swalwell. This piqued the interest of agents. Thank God, that's something did. As it would be extremely odd for a Chinese national conducting research in the university's Department of Biology to import women's underwear. How dare you? How dare you assume his gender and his underwear proclivities from a Chinese tech company? As a result, authorities interviewed Zhang in November of 25 following a research trip in the United Kingdom. It was during that interview that he admitted to wrongdoing. Here's the press release. During the interview, Zhang initially denied any knowledge of smuggling, but subsequently admitted to the shipping manifest, and the package he received was intentionally mislabeled, and samples of DNA of E. coli bacteria were conducted in a package to circumvent U.S. law. This is going on all over the place. So he has been, let's see. The sentence hearing took place, he was arrested on April 7th, just this month, 2026, where it is determined that Zhang also lied about his status. He is a member of the Chinese Communist Party. Duh! They all are. Every Chinese is a member of, guess what? The Chinese Communist Party. FBI, you didn't know that? Hire me, I'll tell you. Tom Wheeler, United States Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana, said in a statement that Zhang intentionally exploited his access. No kidding. Really? You think he intentionally exploited his access to the laboratory? Really? One of India's flagship research universities. Wheeler continued he possesses a national security risk and poses a threat to public safety. So what was he? It doesn't say right here. This stands as the latest case of a Chinese student lying and smuggling biological material into the U.S. Another Chinese national claiming his status as visiting scholar at University of Michigan pleaded no contest to smuggling charges. You want to hear that one? Okay. This was November 5th, 2025. 3 Chinese national scholars from the University of Michigan laboratory charged for conspiring to smuggle biological materials into the United States. Haven't we learned anything from this? From COVID? We haven't learned it yet. 3. Now you'd think that this is something that they're going to go to jail, right? They're going to go to prison, and we will be safe. I mean, you would be wrong. Let's take a listen.
In a surprising development, charges have been dropped against 3 Chinese nationals accused of smuggling biological materials into the U.S. for work at the University of Michigan. Welcome back to CBS News Detroit at 5. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
And I'm Terrence Friday. CBS News Detroit's Elaine Ross Castillo is getting answers from one of the defense attorneys on the case.
Yeah, the defense attorney.
Nearly 3 months after 3 Chinese scientists at the University of Michigan were arrested and accused of smuggling biological material into the United States, one of their lawyers says the charges have been dropped.
This doesn't leave them with any sort of a criminal stain on their records.
Oh, thank God.
And what they wanted all along was simply to return home.
Defense attorney John Minnick says his client, Zhu Bei, along with Fangfeng Zhang and Ziyang Zhang, were charged with conspiracy to help another scientist with the materials.
The biological samples at issue here were some very elementary roundworms.
Federal investigators found that scientist, Shengwang Han, sent the worms to them before she arrived and gave false statements about the reasons why.
Well, of course.
Minnick says once
It's
UN
nothing.
officials found
Just
out,
worms.
they terminated Bai's employment and he lost visa status within 24 hours, leading him to self-deport.
He was in the boarding area waiting to get on a plane to Beijing.
We dug deeper
Yeah,
and found
sure
that
he was.
defense attorneys for the defendants believe the packages were mislabeled to avoid inspection delays at the border, not to cause harm. Earlier this month, Minnick says they got word from the U.S. Attorney's Office of a potential change in the case after involvement from the Chinese government.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were some new developments which might lead to a different sort of resolution.
Minnick says the charges were dismissed days later on February 5th, and the three went back to China soon after, which he says was what they wanted all along.
I'm sure they wanted that all along. You would think that listen to what the Department of Justice said. 3 research scholars from the People's Republic of China were charged today in a criminal complaint with conspiracy to smuggle biological materials into the United States and making false statements. That sounds familiar. Now, these are latest in a long string of cases stemming from the University of Michigan international research activities. Hello? They were just worms. They're just little bugs. No big deal. You know, there's a lot of outbreaks. Since we've been allowing people from China and in other countries, there's been an uptick in outbreaks of all sorts of nasty bugs in our food. Now, I'm not a scientist and I'm not a bug guy, but if you had little tiny worms, you could probably take those worms, and they were like little tiny, pinworms or some type of, just a common worm that, likes to crawl around, and you took that worm and you injected it with something, I don't know, that could rot corn or wheat, and then you let them go. Well, things could happen, couldn't they? I mean, you could, I'm just spitballing here, but you could infect those worms with things that are a lot worse than the worms. You get my drift? But that's okay. They were just little worms that didn't mean anything. So I'm going to take this one down. And you think that, that you think that they would be put in jail? No, they got sent back to China. Take this one down. Well, let's go over here. Let's see what's going on in the world of shipping. First of all, do you know who Costco is? Not the shopping, not the store. You know what Costco is? Is the Costco shipping Ports Limited, and this is a Chinese company, and it's absolutely huge. What do you think they do? Well, they ship things. They are container ships and ports. Costco Shipping owns over 600, or part owner in over 650 ports worldwide. Let's take a look at some of them. The Piraeus port in Greece, they own that. You'd think they own 25% or something. No, 100% ownership. The Zeebrugge terminal, you know where that is? That's in Belgium. I think that was the terminal that we were trying to get to, or the Germans were trying to get to, in Antwerp in World War II. They own, what do you think they own, 20%? 30%? No, they own 90%. Valencia terminal, 51%. 60% of the Canche terminal, that's in Peru. The Bilbao terminal, 39%. The Suez Canal terminal, 20%. Antwerp, 20%. Busan, Oh, look, Busan only like 4%. Okay, that's one. That's under this. Seattle, Euromax Terminal, Red Sea Gateway, Valdo Container, 40%. That's in, Valdo is in Italy. There's a Thailand terminal. Another one in Germany, 30%, and they own a lot more. I can't name them all. We'd just be sitting here. You'd turn me off. This is crazy. Let's take a look. And this, I'm going to tell you something. And they own all terminals in China. They own terminals here in L.A. What are we doing? Okay. In 1961, China established the state-run maritime shipping company, COSCO. And it was pretty small. But as it began in 61, it was just a small company. In September of 73, the country received its first overseas container at the Jiangning port. This event marked the beginning of containerized shipping in China. And by 2002, it became the world's largest handler of containers. The country manages 5.6 billion tons of cargo. Most of it from Temu, but that's not the point. I'm kidding. It's not Temu. It's almost everything. This has become the largest shipping company in the world. And if you think that's not important, we used to be the largest shipping country in the world. But no more, because everybody has to get things so cheap, they're going to go with Costco. This is not she ain't playing. So we go over to Spain now. Why should we care about Spain? Well, it's right in the it's Europe, the cheesy, weak Europeans. Listen to this. Chinese dictator Xi Jinping Tuesday praised Spain for being with China on the right side of history after meeting with socialist Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez in Beijing. Yeah, the socialist. Sanchez is presently conducting an official tour of China. He saw to meet, and again, remember, they own the ports in Spain. And saw him meet with Xi at the Great Hall of the People. The Great Hall of the People. Wow, the people own it. The ongoing visit marks the fourth time Sanchez has visited China in the past 4 years. So we've lost Spain. We gotta bring. We have to bring. We have to bring some political pressure on Spain. Yeah, but it doesn't, here's Sanchez praised Beijing as a key global player in resolving the wars ravaging the world. They're the cause of the wars ravaging the world. They are supporting Iran. If you think Iran wasn't going to bomb us after it got done bombing Israel, then you're nuts. They want to be destroyed. Iran's outlook, again, is the 12th Imam. If we destroy Iran, their belief is that the 12th Imam will come out of hiding, where he's been hiding for 1,000 years, and he will bring down Islamic justice to the world and destroy us even more, and then raise Iran up from the ashes. That's their belief. And Xi uses that, and he gets his oil from Iran. So, it's not just, Iran's not just important for us to do that, but it's important to start strangling China, and that's what Trump's doing. Even though I don't see a bunch of other, I see a bunch of stuff that going by the wayside. I'm real sort of aggravating. So we have, they're smuggling biological elements biological viruses into this country. They are buying up a lot of the shipping ports. What else are they doing? Well, here we go. They take credit for everything. They are the biggest, and I'm going to put a whole thing on China and what they just lie about everything. But China celebrates itself for constructive role in the Iran ceasefire after its peace plan totally ignored. Everybody ignored it, and they went, see, look at how great we are. The Chinese Communist Party proclaimed that it would continue playing a constructive role in peace in the Middle East. And the thing is, they can buy their way into the Middle East. They own the ports. You know, they own a lot of the ports in the Middle East. They come with money. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Miao Ning claimed that during her regular press conference on Wednesday that China has worked actively to help bring about the end of the conflict. Well, that's just garbage. No, they didn't. They're just, you know, they are introducing themselves like a world power, which they're not. And I'll get to that on another podcast. They are really a paper tiger, but they are inserting themselves. And again, they owned Swalwell. I guarantee it. I guarantee that Swalwell start looking at his bank account. And this is, you know, this is what they're doing. They're injecting themselves into almost everything around the world, and people are praising them. People are being paid by China. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should look at Tucker Carlson. Just saying. He's been saying some pretty crazy shit lately. Excuse me. Sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. All right. This is the best because everybody thinks that Trump is just bombing Iran and doing certain things because he has no idea. They say he has no idea what he's doing. Okay. This is another one from Breitbart. Waterway Wars. Greek official reveals how Trump, Guilfoyle, served China's Dragon's Head port advantage in the gateway to Europe. That's important. Remember, the Chinese have this thing called the Silk Road. They want everything to go to China through ports, through everything worldwide, like we used to do. But we've decided that we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to be better than China. This is really aggravating. But the Strait of Hormuz in the Middle East is hardly the only waterway on President Donald Trump's mind at the moment. While Trump and the international media may be talking about the Strait of Hormuz nonstop, the broader questions about the other sea lanes and shipping waterways have pretty much dominated geopolitical discussion worldwide upon Trump's return to the White House, and have been center of the tensions between U.S. and China. He has been poking the Chinese panda bear. The top Adonis Georgiadis is the current Minister of Health. Anyway, that guy Adonis was like the vice president of Greece the first time. So what did Trump do? He met with our let's see, we have a thing called, what is it called here? Hold on. We have a thing called he's the U.S. ambassador, but where's it at? DFC. The DFC, which launched in late 2019, is Trump's first term of congressional research, uses financial tools to promote private investment and economic development of less developed countries. So they said that they couldn't use the DFC funds because this guy called up America and he said, hey, the Chinese want to buy our other port. They already took over the first port. So the one that I read to you. So they wanted to buy another port. They would have owned all the ports in Greece. You think that's not You think that's not something? Let me tell you, it is. Hold on. Okay, so this guy Adam Bowler, who was the head of the DFC under Trump's first administration, he goes to the office of Adonis, Adonis's office, and this happens. He goes, I went to his office, and the first thing he told me was that the DFC at the time, Bowler said this, couldn't fund Greece because Greece was not in the countries that the DFC could fund, because the DFC was for underdeveloped countries. So of course it is, like Africa. So Adonis pulled out his phone and he played a video for Bowler of the Chinese President Xi visiting Greece to declare the pirate support as the dragon's head of the region. Remember this. Remember I told you that the pirate support, they own 100%. Xi had just visited Greece in November to declare that the Piraeus port, which the Chinese company Costco controlled as China's dragonhead. Costco is the dragonhead of the China in Greece, said Xi at the time. So Adonis, he goes, I'm not the United States of America, but I was also the Minister of Development. Okay, I have a bankrupt company there, and if you say you don't care, my only offer is to go to China. I will give them to China, right? Not because I want to, but because I have no other choice. So because, he was told that we couldn't do it, we almost walked away and gave China 2 ports in Greece, making it the head of the Chinese dragon for going into Europe. So Trump stopped that. They came back, they went to Congress, they got it passed, and we invested into that port. This has to be. No one knows this. Did you know this? I didn't know this, and I read this crap all the time. Excuse me. They do. It is. It's just stuff that you don't want to read. You go, oh, that's really a boring thing, but then you read it and you go, holy crap, that's important. This sort of stuff is happening under the radar, and it's important stuff, and it's important that the Trump administration come out and start talking about this, because it will start to make sense to people why he's over in Iran. This is just a small bit about China, but China is dangerous. It's dangerous because we taught them everything we gave them everything they have. We have given them all the money that they have spent on cheap buildings and crappy cars and a bunch of other garbage. They also have investments. Look at Fauci. COVID came from China. What do you think they're doing here in the United States with our farmland? Think about it. All right, I want to go through what China's doing in China, but I don't have the time here. I'll do that in my next podcast or my messcast. So keep this in mind. What Trump is doing is important in Iran. It's important because it's strangling China, and China needs to be strangled. If not, they're coming to get us. They are coming to get us. They don't like us. They're not our friends. And the CEOs that have made them wealthy, they really need to be, you need to be called out. China is an evil, evil country. Just is. All right. We'll be back later on.